What if you could turn fear of change into your greatest strength? Taylor Swift's life is a masterclass in adaptation, showing us how to embrace reinvention, face criticism head-on, and use every challenge as an opportunity for growth. Through her journey from country music beginnings to global superstardom, we'll learn how to stay true to ourselves while evolving, how to turn setbacks into comebacks, and why change isn't something to fear, but something to celebrate. Ready to take these lessons into your own life? Let's uncover the secrets behind Taylor Swift's enduring success. Comment, change, and maybe, because of you, someone will transform their life today. Let's get started. Lesson 1. Dreams come at a price. Have you ever found yourself in a situation where your dreams seemed so distant, almost unattainable? Maybe you felt like the road to achieving them is too challenging, with obstacles that seem insurmountable. If so, the story of Taylor Swift will show you that perseverance and belief in yourself can change everything, even in the face of the toughest odds. Taylor Swift was born on a small Christmas tree farm in Pennsylvania. Although her family had no connection to the music industry, she knew from a young age that she wanted to be a singer. Her mother, Andrea, recalled that little Taylor loved performing and spent hours singing in her room. However, the dream of conquering the music world seemed almost impossible for a girl from the countryside. Everything began to shift when she heard LeAnn Rimes' album Blue at the age of 6. Taylor said, "I fell in love with country music because every song was like a story, full of emotions and life. It was then that she decided she wanted to be part of that world. She didn't wait for the perfect moment. She started taking action. By the age of 10, she participated in local talent shows and karaoke competitions, and by 11, she recorded her first demo. Imagine a young girl going door to door in Nashville, leaving her recordings at music labels. "I wrote 'Call Me' on every demo," she recalled. Did it pay off? At first, no. None of the labels responded. Did Taylor give up? Absolutely not. Her parents saw how determined she was, and at the age of 13, the Swift family moved to Nashville so Taylor could be closer to the heart of the music industry. It was a massive change, new school, no friends, and a constant feeling of being different. "I felt like a misfit," Taylor admitted. At school, country music was considered uncool, and her passion made her a target of ridicule. Have you ever been mocked for your dreams? If so, you know how deeply it hurts. But Taylor found a way to turn that pain into strength. She began writing songs about her experiences. One of them, The Outside, is about feeling like an outsider. "I felt like I didn't belong anywhere, but music became my safe place," she said. It was this determination and ability to transform pain into art that caught the industry's attention. At just 14, she signed her first songwriting contract with Sony ATV, making her the youngest songwriter in the company's history. Yet, even then, the path to success wasn't smooth. When RCA offered to extend her contract for another year, Taylor turned it down. She wanted to record her own songs instead of waiting indefinitely. "I didn't want to be an adult country singer. I wanted to start now," she explained. It was a bold move, but Taylor knew she had to take risks to make her dreams a reality. Her breakthrough moment came when she met Scott Borchetta, who was starting a new label called Big Machine Records. Borchetta discovered Taylor during her performance at the Bluebird Cafe and was impressed by her talent and determination. Soon after, Taylor signed a contract with Big Machine, and in 2006, she released her debut album. Was it an instant success? Not exactly. Her first single, Tim McGraw, gained recognition within the country music scene, but it took months to become a hit. Picture this young girl taking her first steps in an industry dominated by seasoned artists. Despite the initial challenges, Taylor never doubted her abilities. Her songs, filled with honesty and raw emotion, began to resonate with people. As she put it, "I wanted every girl who felt lonely or misunderstood to hear my music and realize they weren't alone." It is this perseverance and willingness to take risks that made Taylor Swift one of the most influential artists in the world. Her story proves that the road to success is full of obstacles, but each one can become an opportunity for growth. Maybe you're facing a challenge right now that feels impossible to overcome. Maybe your dreams feel too far away. But remember, even the longest journey begins with a single step. Taylor Swift shows us that it's worth dreaming, acting, and refusing to give up, no matter how difficult the path may seem. As Taylor once said, if someone tells you your dreams are unrealistic, it's because they're afraid you'll achieve them. So, what will you do with your dreams? The choice is yours. Lesson 2. Don't be afraid of criticism. Have you ever poured your heart into something only to hear it torn apart by others? Maybe you've worked on a project, shared an idea, or expressed yourself, only to be met with disapproval or negativity. Criticism stings, doesn't it? But Taylor Swift's story shows us that criticism, while painful, can be a stepping stone to greatness if you choose to learn from it. Taylor Swift's journey to success wasn't just about talent and determination. It was also about how she faced and handled criticism. From her teenage years as a rising star in country music, to her evolution into one of the most influential global artists, she encountered doubters, naysayers, and even outright hostility. Yet, instead of letting it bring her down, Taylor transformed these moments into opportunities to grow. Let's go back to the beginning. Taylor was just a teenager when she released her self-titled debut album in 2006. While she gained a loyal fan base and her single Tim McGraw climbed the country charts, not everyone was convinced. Critics dismissed her as a novelty act, labeling her music as too juvenile and simplistic. Some even questioned whether she wrote her own songs. For a 16-year-old who had poured her heart into her music, these comments could have been devastating. But Taylor didn't let it shake her. Instead, she doubled down on her songwriting, determined to prove herself as a serious artist. Fast forward to 2010, and Taylor was on top of the world. Her album Fearless had swept the Grammy Awards, earning her 4 wins, including the coveted Album of the Year. It was an unprecedented achievement for a young country artist. But the spotlight also brought intense scrutiny. During the Grammys, she performed a duet of Rhiannon with the legendary Stevie Nicks. Taylor's vocals faltered during the live performance, and the backlash was swift and unrelenting. Critics panned her performance, with some going so far as to question her talent and whether she deserved her success. Imagine being in her shoes, standing on one of the biggest stages in the world, giving your all, only to be torn apart afterward. Taylor's response to this harsh criticism was nothing short of inspiring. Instead of retreating, she poured her energy into creating her 3rd album, Speak Now, writing every single song by herself. It was her way of saying, "I have something to prove." The album was a massive success, debuting at #1 and solidifying her place as a formidable force in the music industry. As Taylor once said, "You can't let criticism completely crush you, but you also can't ignore it. Sometimes, it pushes you to do better." Criticism didn't just come from the media. Throughout her career, Taylor has faced public backlash on multiple fronts. One of the most infamous moments came during the 2009 MTV Video Music Awards, when Kanye West interrupted her acceptance speech for Best Female Video. He grabbed the microphone and declared that Beyoncé deserved the award instead. The incident became a viral moment and thrust Taylor into the center of a media firestorm. At just 19 years old, she was forced to navigate the complexities of fame, public opinion, and online trolling. While many people might have crumbled under the pressure, Taylor handled the situation with grace. She later said, "I think what I learned from that experience is that not everyone is going to like you, and that's okay. What matters is how you respond." Her response was to continue focusing on her music and connecting with her fans. She didn't let the negativity define her. As her fame grew, so did the criticisms. Taylor became a frequent target of jokes about her dating life, with late-night comedians and internet memes reducing her to a caricature of a girl who only writes songs about her exes. For many people, These comments might have been unbearable, but Taylor didn't back down. Instead, she addressed the criticism head-on in her music. Songs like Blank Space and Shake It Off turned the narrative on its head, using humor and self-awareness to reclaim the story. One of Taylor's most defining moments came in 2016, during her public feud with Kanye West and Kim Kardashian. After Kanye released a song that referenced Taylor in a derogatory way, Kim posted a video that appeared to show Taylor approving the lyrics beforehand. The hashtag #TaylorSwiftIceOverParty trended worldwide, and Taylor became the subject of widespread ridicule. Many thought her career was finished, but Taylor used the experience to fuel her artistic reinvention. Her next album, Reputation, addressed the fallout directly, exploring themes of betrayal, resilience, and finding strength in adversity. It was a commercial and critical success, proving that Taylor was far from over. Taylor's story is a powerful reminder that criticism doesn't have to be the end of the road. It can be a beginning, a chance to reflect, grow, and come back stronger. As she once said, "You can't let other people's negativity consume you. If you know your worth, you'll keep moving forward." Think about your own life. Have you ever held back from pursuing something because you were afraid of what others might say? Maybe you've faced criticism that made you question your abilities. It's a natural response, but Taylor's story teaches us that we don't have to let fear or negativity dictate our paths. Every setback can be an opportunity to prove to yourself and the world what you're truly capable of. The next time you encounter criticism, remember Taylor Swift. Whether it's a harsh comment, a moment of failure, or a challenge you didn't see coming, you have the power to turn it into something meaningful. Criticism isn't the end. It's a step toward your next victory. So take a deep breath, shake it off, and keep going. After all, as Taylor has shown us, the best response to criticism is success. What will your next move be? Lesson 4. Your story matters. Lesson 3. Your story matters. Have you ever felt like your story isn't important? Like your experiences, your thoughts, or your struggles might not resonate with anyone? Taylor Swift's journey is proof that sharing your story, not someone else's, but your own, can create deep, meaningful connections with others. Her ability to transform personal experiences into art has made her one of the most beloved and relatable artists of our time. Taylor's songwriting has always been deeply personal. From the beginning of her career, she set herself apart by writing songs that told her story with honesty and vulnerability. Her debut single, Tim McGraw, wasn't just a catchy tune. It was a heartfelt narrative about a fleeting summer romance. "I wanted people to feel like they were reading pages from my diary," Taylor said in an early interview. And that's exactly what her music has felt like for millions of fans, a glimpse into the highs and lows of her life, laid bare for the world to see. But being this open wasn't always easy. Sharing your story, especially one filled with raw emotion, can make you feel exposed. Taylor faced skepticism early in her career, with critics dismissing her lyrics as overly simplistic or too girlish. However, she stayed true to her vision. "I knew my songs were honest, and I believed that honesty would resonate with people," she explained. And resonate they did. Her early hits, like Our Song and Teardrops on My Guitar, captured the universal emotions of young love, heartbreak, and longing, striking a chord with fans around the world. Taylor's commitment to telling her own story grew even stronger as her career progressed. With her third album, Speak Now, she wrote every single song herself. "I wanted this album to be a pure representation of my voice," she said. Each track was like a chapter in a book, chronicling her life at that moment. From Dear John, a searing ballad about a toxic relationship, to Mean, an anthem about overcoming bullying and criticism, Taylor's lyrics were unapologetically personal. Fans related to her vulnerability, finding pieces of their own stories in her words. Have you ever had a moment when a song seemed to capture exactly what you were feeling? That's the magic of Taylor's storytelling. She doesn't just sing about her life, she taps into universal emotions and experiences,
Whether it's the thrill of a new romance, the pain of heartbreak, or the bittersweet nostalgia of growing up, her songs remind us that we're not alone. "I write about what I know," Taylor once said, "and what I know is that emotions are universal."
One of Taylor's most iconic examples of turning personal pain into art is her album, Red. The record is a kaleidoscope of emotions, from the euphoria of falling in love to the anguish of a breakup. Songs like All Too Well have become fan favorites, not just for their poetic lyrics, but for their raw honesty. In fact, All Too Well has been hailed as one of the greatest breakup songs of all time, with fans dissecting every lyric for clues about Taylor's past relationships. But beyond the speculation, the song resonates because it captures something universal, the feeling of losing something you thought would last forever. Taylor has also mastered the art of using her story to create a sense of community. She's known for leaving Easter eggs in her lyrics, music videos, and even social media posts. Tiny clues and references that fans love to decode. This isn't just a marketing strategy. It's a way of inviting her audience into her world. "I've always wanted my fans to feel like they're part of the journey," Taylor said. By sharing her story in such a creative and engaging way, she's built a relationship with her fans that goes beyond the music. Of course, sharing your story isn't without risks. Taylor has faced criticism and backlash for her autobiographical approach to songwriting. Some have accused her of being too focused on her personal life or using her relationships as publicity. But Taylor has always stood by her decision to write from her own experiences. "Why would I write songs about anything else?" she once asked. "The best art comes from the truth." Her ability to stay authentic in the face of criticism is a lesson for all of us. How often do we hold back from sharing our stories because we're afraid of being judged or misunderstood? Taylor's journey shows us that being true to yourself is worth the risk. Your story, with all its ups and downs, has the power to inspire others. It doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to be real. Take a moment to think about your own story. What have you been through that others might relate to? Maybe you faced challenges at work, struggled in a relationship, or experienced a moment of triumph after a long battle. Whatever it is, your experiences are valid, and sharing them could make a difference in someone else's life. One of the most beautiful things about Taylor's storytelling is that it has evolved over time. Her music reflects not just her personal growth, but also her willingness to explore new perspectives. With albums like Folklore and Evermore, she shifted from writing about her own life to crafting fictional narratives inspired by other people's stories. Yet, even in these songs, the emotions remain universal. Tracks like Cardigan and The Last Great American Dynasty remind us that storytelling isn't just about the details, it's about the feelings behind them. Taylor once said, "Every person has a story to tell, and every story has the potential to change someone's life." Her music is a testament to that belief. By sharing her story, she's created a connection with millions of people around the world. And by staying true to herself, she's shown us that authenticity is the key to meaningful storytelling. So, what's your story? Maybe you think it's not important or that no one will understand. But Taylor's journey is proof that your story matters. It doesn't have to be perfect, polished, or tied up with a neat bow. It just has to be yours. When you're brave enough to share it, you'll find that it resonates in ways you never expected. So take a page from Taylor Swift's book. Be honest, be vulnerable, and remember that your story has the power to inspire, connect, and transform. What will you share today? Lesson 4. Support and inspire others. Have you ever felt the satisfaction of helping someone else succeed? There's a unique joy in lifting others up, sharing your knowledge, or simply being there to support someone when they need it. Taylor Swift's career is a testament to the power of mentoring and inspiring others. Through her actions, she's shown that success isn't just about personal achievements. It's also about how you use your platform to empower those around you. From the very beginning of her career, Taylor has been vocal about the artists and individuals who inspired her. Growing up, she idolized country legends like Shania Twain and Loretta Lynn, crediting them with sparking her love for storytelling through music. They were strong, fearless women,
who didn't let anyone tell them what they could or couldn't do, Taylor once said. Their influence can be seen not only in her early music, but also in her commitment to championing other women in the industry. As Taylor's fame grew, she made a conscious effort to give back to the community that supported her. One of her most notable acts of mentorship is her support for up-and-coming artists. Take, for example, her collaboration with Phoebe Bridgers on the Red, Taylor's version album. Phoebe, an acclaimed singer-songwriter, described the experience as a dream come true, highlighting how Taylor's invitation to work together elevated her visibility in the music world. By sharing her platform, Taylor helped Phoebe reach an even broader audience. But Taylor's support isn't limited to collaborations. She's been a vocal advocate for artists' rights, particularly in the realm of music ownership. When her former label sold the masters of her early albums without her consent, Taylor took a stand by re-recording her albums under the banner of Taylor's version. This move wasn't just about reclaiming her work, it was also a statement to other artists that they deserve to own the music they create. Artists should have control over their own work, she said. If my experience can help even one person navigate this industry more confidently, then it's worth it. Taylor has also used her platform to amplify social causes and support marginalized communities. In recent years, she's become a vocal ally of the LGBTQ+ community, dedicating her song, "You Need to Calm Down," to promoting acceptance and equality. The music video featured prominent LGBTQ+ figures and ended with a call to action, encouraging fans to support pro-equality legislation. "I want my fans to feel seen and supported," Taylor said. "If my voice can help bring about change, then I want to use it." Beyond her music, Taylor has shown her generosity in more personal ways. She's known for her surprise acts of kindness, such as paying off a fan's student loans, sending care packages to fans in need, or donating significant amounts to disaster relief efforts. These gestures may not make headlines every time, but they leave a lasting impact on the individuals she touches. One fan recalled receiving a handwritten letter from Taylor during a tough time, describing it as a moment that reminded me of my own worth. Taylor's commitment to inspiring others extends to her live performances as well. During the Eras tour, she introduced a tradition of exchanging friendship bracelets among fans, inspired by a lyric from "You're on Your Own, Kid." This simple act created a sense of community and connection, making every attendee feel like they were part of something bigger. "I want my concerts to be a place where people feel like they belong," she explained. Have you ever felt that your voice or actions don't matter? Taylor's story proves that even small acts of support can create ripples that reach far beyond what we can see. You don't need to be a global superstar to make a difference. Whether it's mentoring a colleague, cheering on a friend, or standing up for what you believe in, your efforts have the power to inspire and uplift those around you. Taylor's ability to support and inspire isn't just about grand gestures, it's also about authenticity. She's open about her struggles and insecurities, reminding her fans that even the most successful people face challenges. Her honesty has created a deep bond with her audience, who see her as not just an artist, but as someone who understands their experiences. "I've always wanted my music to feel like a conversation between friends," she said. And in many ways, that's exactly what it is. A dialogue that reminds us we're not alone. Her dedication to lifting others up has earned her admiration and respect from her peers. Artists like Ed Sheeran, Selena Gomez, and Haim have spoken about Taylor's generosity and encouragement, describing her as a source of inspiration in their own careers. Selena, one of Taylor's closest friends, once said, "She's taught me that being kind and supportive doesn't make you weak, it makes you strong." So, what can we learn from Taylor's example? First, that success is more meaningful when it's shared. Supporting others doesn't take away from your achievements, it enhances them. Second, that even small acts of kindness can have a profound impact. And finally, that authenticity and vulnerability are powerful tools for building connections. Take a moment to think about your own life. Who has inspired or supported you along the way, and how can you pay it forward? Maybe it's offering advice to someone starting out in your field, lending a hand to a friend in need, or simply being there to listen. Whatever it is, remember that your actions have the potential to change someone's life. Taylor Swift's story reminds us that we're all capable of inspiring and supporting others. You don't need a microphone or a stage, just a willingness to share your time, your kindness, and your belief in the people around you. So go ahead, lift someone up today. Who knows? You might just inspire the next Taylor Swift.
Lesson 5. Evolve to endure.
Have you ever faced a moment where you felt stuck, like the world around you was changing and you weren't sure how to keep up? Maybe you've wondered if it's time to reinvent yourself, to try something new. If that sounds familiar, Taylor Swift's story shows us the power of evolution, not just to survive, but to thrive. Taylor Swift's career is a masterclass in reinvention. From her beginnings as a teenage country star to becoming one of the most influential pop icons of all time, she's consistently adapted to new challenges, audiences, and phases of life. But her ability to evolve hasn't been about chasing trends. It's been about staying true to herself while embracing change. Taylor's first major reinvention came with her 2014 album, 1989. Up until that point, she had been firmly rooted in the country music world, with hits like You Belong With Me and Love Story making her a household name. But Taylor realized that her creative vision was leading her in a different direction. "I knew I wanted to make a pop record," she said, "not because I wanted to leave country music behind, but because I felt like I had new stories to tell, and they needed a different sound." The shift to pop wasn't without its risks. Some fans and industry insiders doubted whether she could successfully transition. Others criticized her for abandoning her roots. But Taylor didn't let the fear of backlash stop her. She poured herself into creating an album that was both a departure from her past and a reflection of her growth. The result was a resounding success. 1989 debuted at #1, won Album of the Year at the Grammys, and produced chart-topping singles like Shake It Off and Blank Space. "It was the most liberating thing I've ever done," Taylor said. "I realized that evolution is about following your instincts, even when it feels scary." Have you ever felt like it was time to make a bold change, but hesitated because of what others might think? Taylor's leap from country to pop shows us that staying stagnant out of fear of judgment can hold us back from reaching our full potential. Change isn't just necessary, it's a sign of growth. But Taylor's journey didn't stop there. In 2017, she released Reputation, an album that marked yet another evolution in her career. At the time, she was facing intense public scrutiny and backlash following her high-profile feud with Kanye West and Kim Kardashian. Instead of shying away from the controversy, Taylor leaned into it, creating an album that explored themes of betrayal, resilience, and reclaiming her narrative. Songs like Look What You Made Me Do and Delicate showcased a darker, edgier side of Taylor, proving once again that she wasn't afraid to take risks. "I felt like I had to destroy the version of me that people thought they knew," Taylor explained. Reputation wasn't just an album, it was a statement. It was Taylor's way of saying that she refused to be defined by anyone else's expectations. The album was a commercial success, but more importantly, it was a turning point in her career. It showed her fans and the world that reinvention is about staying true to yourself, even when the world tries to box you in. Taylor's next reinvention came in 2020 with the release of Folklore and Evermore. These albums were a departure from the polished pop sound of her previous work, embracing a more stripped-down indie folk aesthetic. Created during the isolation of the COVID-19 pandemic, they reflected a quieter, more introspective side of Taylor. "I wanted to tell stories that felt timeless, like they could have been written in any era," she said. This pivot wasn't just a creative experiment. It was a reminder that evolution can take many forms. Sometimes it's about bold, dramatic changes. Other times, it's about subtle shifts that reflect where you are in life. Folklore and Evermore were met with critical acclaim, earning Taylor her third Album of the Year Grammy for Folklore. The records also deepened her connection with her fans, who saw them as a comforting escape during a challenging time.
Have you ever thought about the seasons of your own life? Just like Taylor, we all go through phases where we grow, change, and adapt. Some changes might be big and bold, while others are quiet and introspective. The key is to embrace each phase and allow yourself to evolve naturally. Taylor's story also reminds us that reinvention isn't about leaving the past behind, it's about building on it. In recent years, she's revisited her early work through the re-recording of her albums under the banner of Taylor's version. These re-recordings have allowed her to reclaim ownership of her music while celebrating her journey. Re-recording these albums has been one of the most fulfilling things I've ever done, Taylor said. It's a way to honor where I've been while looking ahead to where I'm going. This process has resonated deeply with fans, many of whom have grown up alongside Taylor's music. By revisiting her past, she's reminded us that our growth doesn't erase our history, it enriches it. Each phase of our lives adds a new layer to who we are, creating a richer, more complex story. So, what can we learn from Taylor's journey? First, that evolution is essential for growth. Whether it's changing careers, exploring new hobbies, or simply embracing a new mindset, reinvention keeps us moving forward. Second, that fear of judgment shouldn't hold us back. As Taylor has shown, taking risks and following your instincts can lead to incredible opportunities. And finally, that growth doesn't mean forgetting where you came from. Our past is a part of who we are, and embracing it can make our journey even more meaningful. Think about your own life. Is there something you've been holding back from trying because it feels unfamiliar or intimidating? Maybe it's time to take that leap. As Taylor's story shows us, the only way to endure is to keep evolving. So go ahead, embrace C.